Do you know anything about the Niners' new secondary coach, Undlin, or whatever his name is, and James Bettcher, the defensive senior assistant? You know anything about them?
I don't know those names. I did know the former. I did know about the former coach, not this one, but the previous one that went on to be the co-defensive coordinator at Ohio State, and then I think now he's the head coach at Boston College. But these guys I don't really know about. I think so far I would say that I would feel confident about their last secondary coach hires have been pretty good. So you'd like continuity at that position, but it seems like they've done a pretty good job at hiring those guys. So I would feel good. I would feel good about them. Where did
Let me tell you about Betcher a little bit. Let me tell you Betcher's background, because I think he's more important. He broke into the NFL in 2012 with Bruce Arians on the Colts. That team when Arians was the what was he? He was the interim coach because Chuck Pagano had cancer. So that was his first job. But then he goes with Arians to Arizona in 2013 and is the outside linebacker coach for 2 years under Bowles. So he's been educated by Todd Bowles. Then Bowles leaves to become the Jets head coach in 2015. Betcher becomes a defensive coordinator on the Cardinals for 3 seasons. So he was Arians' DC from 15 to 17. Arians left. He went and became the defensive coordinator for the Giants, Betcher, for 2 years.
I remember.
And then he took last year off, and now he's with the Niners. That's Betcher. So he has experience with Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu. He's got some experience with some good DBs.
And he has coordinator experience. So sometimes that can help because now you can see the whole picture. You're not just limited to your one position role. And it seems like he's had, from what you just showed me, it seems like he's had some scheme versatility because he started in that Colts defense. I believe Pagano is he's a Ravens guy, heavy man, heavy zero man, no help.
Right.
Yep. Then
which is something you don't see very much from Saleh.
Right. Yeah, which is not terrible. It's not.
Oh, it's just different.
Yeah,
a little more aggressive.
Yeah. Whoever when you're a new DC, you just have to be as long as he's himself with schemes he implements and makes everything fit together. Then I think it'll work out. Well, what about Undlin? Are they split between safeties and corners, or is one the assistant coach and the other the secondary coach?
Just a second. Cory Undlin is the pass game specialist slash secondary coach. He was the Lions defensive coordinator last year under Patricia. He was the Eagles DB coach from 15 to 19, I guess, with Jim Schwartz. He was the Denver Broncos DB coach from 13 to 14. Must have been under Wade Phillips. Or could have been John Fox. I forget. Broncos quality control, Jaguars DB coach. He's been around a long time. Really has been.
I think what they're doing is kind of the opposite. It's kind of what you want. What Kyle Shanahan to do is bring in guys that might have different ideas and allow a sounding board for their new defense coordinator who has yet to be a defense coordinator. So they're bringing in guys that have experience with that.
2 guys. Yeah. This guy Undlin was the DC with the Lions last year. Betcher's been a DC for 2 teams. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So it seems to me that's what they're doing. They're bringing in guys with experience to help their green DC out.
So you got one guy who's been really schooled under Jim Schwartz and Undlin. The other guy who was schooled under Todd Bowles. 2 defensive coordinators who are best in the game and are different than Robert Saleh. Much more, I don't know. Maybe they're not that different. Just when I think of them as bringing more pressure. Saleh brought a lot of pressure this year. Maybe that's where they want to go with this defense.
It might be.
Maybe.
It might. Didn't you say that Undlin came from Detroit? He came from Schwartz, or he came from
He was in Detroit for 1 year as their DC this year, but he was in Philly from 15 to 19 as their DB coach under Schwartz, I believe.
I wouldn't expect too much variation from what Saleh did, but
right,
we'll see.
Yeah. Pass game specialist, secondary coach. That's Undlin, and Betcher is the senior defensive assistant. So I don't know who has more power or what.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to look at, again, I think some of the moves that they're going to make in the offseason are going to kind of give you an idea of what the plan is. Are they going to re-sign Verrett? Are they going to draft the corner? What are the guys that they go and get? What does it look like? Because right now, the only starters that are on the roster are Jimmy Ward.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, technically Mosley's not even. He's a restricted free agent, right? He hasn't signed his deal. So right now, the only starter that's on the roster is Jimmy Ward.
Right. It's true. I mean, Tavares has some experience. Jason Verrett, they should re-sign. Who knows if they will?
I'm not a big Tavares Moore guy. I think because of his physical skills, I think he's overrated. I wouldn't count on him. I think they should look to address that position in free agency. Re-sign Tart.
It's hard. Like, how many games are you going to miss?
That's another thing. Even if you're talking about Tart comes back on a cheap deal, you still have to have a backup plan for Tart because he always misses games.
Games you're going to miss because then you're back to Tavares Moore, Marcel Harris. Yep,
exactly.
Marcel Harris seems like a better linebacker than safety to me.
And that might be their plan. That might be their plan is to move him to backer. And you can do that now, but if you dress the safety position, you can go ahead and move him to backer.
Yeah.
Many some pounds, and he would know he has to put on some weight in the offseason, and he can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Eric Price over here saying Philly DBs were so bad. Who'd they have? Oh, they were so bad. They were so bad. Jalen Mills.
But you can't judge just because their DBs, their Bs are bad doesn't mean the coach is bad. So it's also, what are they? Didn't we just say at the top who spending first round draft picks is important, right? So if you're not spending those picks, you're not giving the coach something to work with, especially in the secondary where you need physical traits. What's he really supposed to do?